Hello, everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube, in all its
Yo,
infinite
what up,
wisdom,
everybody?
has
Welcome
decided
back
that
to
some
another
of the
episode
Die
of
Party
Die
games
Party Solar
are now
Ascendancy,
not
your
suitable for
weekly
advertising.
foray
It doesn't mean a whole lot for
into
the content.
everything unknown and
I'm not going to
spooky
censor
in
the
space.
videos in any
I don't know
way,
if spooky is
but
the
if you'd
right
like to
word,
lend your
but that's the
support
way we're gonna
so
go
that
with
Die
it.
Party can continue to grow,
We have,
please
I
check out the
guess, half an
Patreon
episode
or
today because
subscribe
our
on
dear
the Twitch
friend,
channel.
Mr. Derek,
Enjoy the
is
episode.
going to boot you on out of here in 2.5 hours. So we're going to do quick introductions and jump straight into this bitch. Speaking of the devil himself, Derek, what up? How you doing? Where can people find you?
Oh, good. Yeah. People can find me on Twitter at Elvin Tower. I do custom cartography for fantasy games and adventures.
Sweet. Zippy, where can people find you? Who are you? All
Hi,
that stuff.
I'm Zippy. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo. And I do variety gaming. Right now we're going through .hack GU like a boss.
Damn. All right. Speaking about being stuck in MMOs forever and ever, Kika, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me here at Twitch at twitch.tv/Kika. That's twitch.tv/KIKK. And on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO. I mostly just play in other people's games.
Fuck yeah. And last but not least, we have our space master himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric Vulgaris, aka my friend on the battlefield. What up, sir? How you doing?
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Eric. I'm excited to run here. I'm going to be your space master today and forever because you're stuck with me. You're in the Hotel California.
Got him.
Oh no.
All right,
right.
so yeah, we're playing Stars Without Number Revised Edition. If you don't know what that is, it is a cool game about throwing your booty into the space black holes and seeing what comes out.
You know, you're not wrong, but phrasing? I don't know.
Fuck me. If there's one word to describe my channel, it is phrasing. So, like, you know, Eric, take it away, my man.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, who wants to say what happened last time on our Solar Ascendancy game? Because it was
We
pretty
almost died.
I don't know about died. I think we established that we were doing sniper rifles wrong though.
We smuggled onto a ship, not a ship, a train, that had a Kika on board, another Kika on board.
Another
What's your race? What is the
Shivazian.
actual Shivazian? Okay, so
Chiavazian.
another Chiavazian,
sorry.
Chiavazian, who was smuggling weapons for a radical religious sect of the the Chandra, and we have since made it back to the sword, and we have successfully completed our mission of grabbing the sword tech codes, and we are now deciphering them.
Yeah. Also, what did we end up doing with what's his face, Ral? Because he did promise us some sweet tender if we got him back to his people. 35,000, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. No, you would have got that cash money.
Hell yeah, we got that cash money.
Right.
I have a question about money. What is it? It's like credits or?
Yeah, for purposes of the game, there's a local currency for your solar, which would be credits. In terms of a like interstellar currency between solars, it's probably information. It's more barter and trust.
Yeah. Is and the other thing about tender, is it digital or is it hard currency that we're dealing with? Like is it like
Right.
credit sticks like with a number on it and we just touch a thing, or is it like briefcase
Do we
full
touch
of
tips?
like dominoes? I don't know.
So different places do it differently, and I want to ask you all about this because that's a really good question. So after the scream, I mean before the scream, all the money was digital, and it wasn't, and like obviously it was encrypted and everything like that. But would we trust money at this point to like reintroduce digital
Well,
currency?
it depends how when
or
you do
are we lugging around encrypted chips?
when you
I
think
think-
about money in this game, is the world dirty? Because if it's dirty, then we're dealing with like chips and shit, right? I think at that
Yeah.
point. But if it's clean, I think we could have either, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It is ether, but basically, I'm gauging the waters here of like how much do you think our little cluster of the reach of
Specifically thinking about like
swords here.
narratives and stuff, I honestly think being able to like destroy Tender is cool. So I think having it as a physical thing would be awesome.
Sure.
I feel like if you're dealing with off-worlders, it would be digital because that's more universally accepted currency is the digital currency. But if you're dealing with stuff on-world, physical currency would be more accepted. You know, it's like trying to use. So it's like basically using your cash in America and then flying over to England and just use your PayPal, basically.
Okay. Yeah, so there's both. I like the idea that our reach is named after our coin, maybe like the old coin, which were rings. So that's probably so it's probably maybe it's gold rings, right? Make it easy.
Is it like a circle with a square missing out of the middle? You know, like,
Oh yeah, like old.
If we get
shit.
shot, does our gold rings fall out of our pockets and do we flash for a few seconds?
Ring, yeah, of course, naturally.
Okay.
So we're going to be going to the Green Hill Zone.
Do.
Sorry. Yeah, no. It's continuing jokes of our boy Sonic.
Is
yeah.
Blonic the Hedgehog?
Okay. That's cool. So yeah, so you would have been paid. This would have been a transfer, and here's why I would have been able to get to you pretty easily. So you guys cannot leave the system just yet. You guys are on your way out, but due to I asked you guys this a couple weeks ago, whether or not we review, whether or not you skipped your normal checkups for your ship. And, well, you guys need fuel to get out of here. So you need to go stop at the automated refuel depot. This is a solar protected refueling station called Capo 1. And you kind of like are near the edge of where the drill space happens or the flow is that connects you. The cool thing here about this entire meta sector is that there are 3 exit points that you can kind of go from here, depending on what jobs you want to do. And while you're here refueling, your FTL probes come back with updated mission lists and things from your solar, and obviously they want to report about what you guys found and what's going on with your mission, right? So here's a chance for you guys to sort of review, a chance to plan, a chance to progress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you do me a favor, Mr. Eric Vulgaris, and maybe extend the background of that so it looks cooler? So it's all blue to the left and right of that?
Oh, yeah, I can just extend the width of it. Yeah, no problem. I got you, buddy.
Cool. My man. Nice.
So last episode, Derek and I our goals were to find out information about what information is in the sword tech. So could we do that now?
Yes.
Okay.
So now that you guys are on ship and you guys are sort of like waiting around, to paint you guys a picture of what this looks like, you guys are basically docked to what appears to look like a gigantic Voyager spacecraft.
Mm-hmm.
So think of just a very large, dull, very like almost like space brutalist architecture looking machine. Just looks outdated because it is outdated. It predates the Scream, the sword class event.
Love that.
And it's sort of like just been retrofitted to work now, and it's sort of and like not a lot of people know how these refueling stations kind of work. I'll kind of leave it up to you guys if you want to explore more into that. But basically, you just need to your ship behaves kind of like if your phone had a wireless charging station. It needs to sit there, and through some sort of electro-fission osmosis, your drives can refuel and recharge. But it takes a little bit of time.
Does the
I have a
thing
question.
even have
Span of
like
days.
working artificial gravity on it, or is it?
Yeah, it's rotating. It used to have normal gravity, but no, it has to use centrifugal gravity to.
Oh, that is
for you.
great. I love it.
Yeah.
What happened to the character sheets? They're different.
They were updated.
They're different.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if you guys noted this, but the character sheet was updated.
Yeah.
Make sure you have PC selected.
Yes. So just so you guys know, I think that's because Stars Without Numbers is awesome and it's getting a lot of press out there. So I think somebody maybe volunteered to do that stuff.
To make sure that your modifiers on your skills are calculated correctly, just go over to the bonus, hit 1, and then hit 0. It will automatically calculate what the base modifier is after that. So you just gotta jibble with it.
Zippy, keep in mind your base modifier for all your skills is -1.
So
if you set something up,
like my intelligence and my wisdom are both 14 and 15, which is a +1.
Right.
But to have it calculated on the side where it says modifier, I had to go and I had to click where it said bonus, hit it up from 0 to 1, and then back to 0, and then move it away.
Yeah, this is.
You had
for
to
your
jibble
base
with it.
stats.
Yeah, and then it's
right. Oh, for base
baseline.
stats. For base stats. I understand now. Okay, forgive me. Okay. Oh,
No, you're
yeah, I
good.
see how not proficient gives you the -1 automatically. Okay, cool. Sorry. I didn't have the sheet open. I was just mansplaining.
How the hell
You're
do
good.
you actually roll your skills now? I don't see a button for it.
Or the weapons. I have no clue.
The weapons, you should be able to just click on it where it turns blue and then be like,
Nope.
Boom. Yes, watch. Look
Whoa.
into the chat.
How did you roll that?
So make sure that go up where it says PC
Let's go
NPC and click the pencil. That means you're no longer editing your character sheet. Go over to your weapons.
Oh, no longer editing. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
And then if I wanted to roll a no, and then boop.
Oh, look at you. That's crafty. I never would have figured that out. I would have never known I was in edit mode.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, that was very, very hidden. Okay.
I don't do anything right, but when I do, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You can just click up the top there.
Yeah. While we're doing this and having fun, also I want to remind everybody we have goals.
Oh, yeah.
We should do. And anyone who, if you have 3 experience points, you should level up.
No, I don't think anyone has 3 right now.
I think we all have 2 right now.
Yeah.
So now with the new nifty thingamabob character sheet, if you scroll all the way down, it has miscellaneous, and one of it is goals.
They had goals in the last one.
Yeah, well, now you can put it in right there.
Zippy had some sails, and you just scooped up all the wind and just took it right out of those sails.
Yeah, you decided to take a nice pee in my Cheerios.
Okay. Perios.
So you guys know, for people keeping track at home and number of days, it's going to take you 4 days.
To decrypt?
No, to refuel.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have 4 days where we're just faffing about on the ship.
Yep, it's frustrating, but it's the thing. You gotta do it.
I'm curious about something because there is something I wish to actually do. What is communication like? How do we communicate across rings or sectors, or is that possible?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah. We are on. Okay, you're not. Okay. Yeah. So, ostensibly, there is no FTL communication.
Okay.
That the true FTL communication exists in the sword levels. So maybe the upper reaches of the reach of the reach of rings could probably do it, but not where we're at. We are firmly in sort of the middle territory right now, and the middle territories can't do that. So in order to send messages around, it's very typical to send automated drones to do it. Messenger drones get sent out with miniature drill drives that go into the flow, and they go to an automated destination. Typically for you guys, if you're sending things, you're sending them to literally the solar postmaster, who then distributes it for you. But they have to follow the same flow lines as you. And if you look on Roll20, I've kind of written out what the flow lines look like. It's kind of like a metro map, right? The only thing that you should know, because each of those one lines is this is the way to go. I haven't listed how long it takes because flows change every time you go into them. It can be anywhere between literally like 5 days to you've heard people lost in the flow for 6 months. It depends.
Okay.
It's just the nature of the business. The red one, I'm going to point out between the system new and the system Kalani has been breaking down. It's experiencing flow flux.
So the lighter the color, the
possible.
quicker the jump, is what you're saying?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like traffic conditions on Google Maps.
Yeah, but it's more like a weather. It's like more like weather report.
That's funny.
So as you can see that all these flow lines are actually not necessarily the strongest. There are ways to upgrade them, but they have been lost.
Okay, interesting. So I have a particular question related. You know, it's fine. I'm just gonna talk metagame here, out of character for everyone. One of my goals is to smuggle tech back to Earth, higher tech than what we have here. I'm very much a humanist, I guess would be the correct term there. And I also want to, for a reason, for just narrative purposes, I want to send messages back to Earth as well. How would I do that?
Does anybody? Okay. From what you have known about sending things to Earth, they will be one-way trips.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Sending things to Earth is possible, or if you could find where Earth is in the reach of wands. You could drill as close as you can to it, and then it would have to go at literally a fraction of light speed at some sort of measure of c to get there, and then hope that humans have a way of decrypting it because you just sent them an alien message, right?
Yeah.
So you would know that, right? That's not anything meta. You would know that is the reality. It's not impossible. It's that how do I do this without this thing either getting recognized as a threat? Because like humanity is not necessarily. We're like you described it as humanity is like getting to Mars and like the expanse level of things, right?
Never
Like
seen
humanity
the
is
expanse,
kind of-
but wherever we're at right now in life, like in the present day, 2018, that's where the tech is for Earth right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind then. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit harder. You could totally do it, but you would basically be flying things on a wing and a prayer, hoping that your messages when they get to Earth, they have a way of either like decrypting it or you do something to make it easy to be decrypted, and that kind of stuff. But specifically, what are you thinking about sending them? Like weapons, ship drives, notes, where to go?
specifically, I'm just trying to do it. Like I'm trying to set it up, right? So I'm not just gonna throw things into the wild right now. Like I want to be able to make something in character reliable so that when I do find something that's going to benefit humanity in a way, I want to be able to send it back.
Okay. So in order to do that, you need to find Earth again. Right? You need to find the zip code, basically, of where Earth is. Because if you can find that, then you could just pray that these things get dropped off there. Right?
Okay.
So that's number one.
Hope you don't miss and shoot things into the sun.
Yeah. Number two, this will be expensive, right? You're losing a drone every time you do it, right?
Yeah.
You're never going to get that drone back.
Sure. All right. That's fine. I don't know how
And when
much...
I say never, I mean you'll get it back in like 1,000 years when it eventually returns from dead space. Assuming it has the ability to dredge hydrogen long enough to actually to scoop up enough to give it enough fuel again, right? And
Just
most
gotta
drones
go
don't
through
do
some
that.
gas giants.
Yeah, well, but basically, like it's not going to come back in your lifetime. So you're looking at, but you might also, who knows? At the end of the day, though, you might become like the king of honored human being of Earth, right? for gifting them things, right?
That's the point, right? I
Yeah.
see this as an opportunity. I've been sort of pushed into
You're
this realm.
Prometheus.
Yeah, exactly.
You're stealing fire from the gods.
Yeah, I've been given this wonderful opportunity to like send everything that I can back home.
Oh yeah.
Because there's like otherwise humanity is just gonna squander its resources until it explodes. So, you know, that's how we
quaint.
roll. How quaint, yes. So yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to be doing. The second is for narrative reasons. During this downtime, Logan is essentially because you know he's building up stuff that he wants to send with it, and once he's confirmed that he can send stuff back, he's going to be able to do it. So he's got this essentially like a lunchbox almost, and he's filling it up with essentially what is postcards, right? So he's writing on the postcards, you know, to I guess his family. I haven't really decided what that is yet, but ideally he's just writing a bunch of like letters that will eventually be sent back with this package. Like he's basically making a care package as he does. So he's sort of just writing down like, oh, today we saw a bunch of lizards that have trouble banging. And it was, you know, like he's just basically just doing
a
like
journey of travels.
Yeah, essentially. And he's got this basically lunchbox or whatever. I like the idea that it's a lunchbox that he had when he came over. So it's all beat to shit and stuff, and maybe it's got like NASA on it or something, you know, like it's like a SpaceX thing or something like that, you know. But
or
yeah,
something hokey like Star Trek.
it's got like
it's even better that it's like your childhood memorabilia that you took to space on this trip, right?
Or it was like some
John Glendit, right? Or you what's his name, Yuri Gagarin. You're like the first person to do like a C, you know, like level of C type vessel. Like you're the head of your ship and you're the only survivor that got rematerialized. Like, yeah.
And I also like the idea that instead of it being like my childhood memorabilia, like there was a bunch of like
oh, it's others.
Yeah, it's like, you know what it is. It's like it's like a time capsule that like a bunch of kids around the earth got selected to put together so that they could send it into fucking space with these dudes.
You have memories of someone else's husband.
Yeah, it's like
a wedding ring.
It's someone else's shit, right? But I don't really remember whose it was. So it's basically just like it's like almost like I don't know what's a good kids. It's
but
like
what else can you do?
I don't know. Yeah.
You're the only person, like the only human, like that you feel closer to that stranger's memories than probably anything else.
Probably, yeah.
Also have
the closest thing you have.
You could tell.
Does it also have like a record of like Earth music, like they sent up on the Voyager?
Yeah. So whatever you would imagine Earth to put in a time capsule to send into space is the type of shit that I have, right? Which is why we have all these like old ass movies and shit like that. You know? Which is why there's so many references to like old shit that we're talking about because everyone's sort of watched it with me or whatever. So
yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
You guys have seen Ghostbusters 32 times.
Yep, that's it.
One of Benedictus's favorite bands, ABBA, he took from that lunchbox, and that's why he listens to it on repeat.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're not taking my shit. It's everyone's stuff they can freely listen to. You don't own Earth memorabilia, motherfucker. Okay.
But you
borrow it.
only listens to Rachmaninoff. Only Rachmaninoff.
That's it. Yeah. So that's basically what Logan does in the downtime. Essentially, is
love it.
I don't know if you need a roll for me to get that done, but because it is a goal that I've set for my character to be able to send something back. And I put it as a lofty one, and I didn't even put an XP to it. Because you said like the longest one is sort of just like a level up or essentially like that. So I would like to make moves towards doing that.
Yeah, I love to. So like that is the you have told me that's what you want to do. How? Tell me, how are you doing this?
I imagine it's a lot of like going through back channels and using more charisma to find like people who have like star charts or something like that, right? Like some sort of like, you know, I imagine that before there was a lot of before I came through, they sent a lot of like almost like human probes through with this FDL stuff to try it out, right? Just like, see what sticks and see what doesn't. And I imagine there's a lot of information floating about on those computers specifically about this. And maybe there's even people who smuggle stuff back into this place on relative frequent basis.
Okay.
Maybe not to Earth,
right?
But yeah.
So cool. You will need one of those, but first you also need to find Earth, and I think that's the first step.
That's what I'm focusing on.
I think maybe what we zoom in on is like you might be in the workshop area of the ship, and you're like looking at parts of an old this happened in the past, but like you paid a really hefty price or you did some shit to get bits of a drone that was sent here, that someone else scooped up, and like you would whether through money, guile, whatever, like you got your hands on an Earth like exploratory drone.
Okay.
And now you're like trying to retcon where it came from, right? And trace where it, and so like so that's what you're using. You're using like another drone here to like give and like you have like a notebook or something like database thing of like other references, and you're trying to figure out like and just follow the trail, so to speak. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So that sounds like it could be a bunch of different skills. What are you thinking?
Well, who did I get it from?
You either got it from a contract. You either got it from a friend, where you paid way too much for it, or you got it from, or you got it from another solar, and that's a secret. Or maybe you got it.
What about? I mean, I have Connect.
I will give you another one. I'll give you another option. You forgo your 3,500 or 35,000 credits you got right now, and this is the gift that Rao gives you.
I don't know if I'm willing to do that much. I think I'll put it to a roll. 35,000 can go a long way to making sure we don't die in the cold vastness of space.
Yeah. So, which one do you want it? So you wanted to do it based on another solar? You made a bargain.
I'm okay with another bargain
with another solar.
Yeah.
Or did you?
That seems good to me. We'll do that one. So like negotiate.
Yeah.
So is that talk
or you? Yeah. The other option is that you have a friend, but you took out a loan from them to get this.
Oh.
Right. So you're indebted to a friend. Okay. Cool. But no, you took it from another solar secretly. Yeah. Sweet. That's no way gonna bite you in the butt. No way.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you're working on this thing. The reason why I asked, this could be like any kind of skill, right? Not like necessarily any skill when I say any skill, but it could be necessarily something like work. I could even see a case for trade. I could be program if you're running diagnostics. It could be fix if you're trying to like repair it and get into like the gritty parts of it. Notice, maybe even like looking for serial numbers and like maybe, you know what I mean? Like I'm just looking at the code. I can see a lot of different things, right? It kind of comes down to how you think Logan would do it, right?
Well, I was hoping.
Would he ask for?
You would ask for help.
Yeah. I don't think so right now. I don't know. Like, I'm friendly with all you dudes, but I'm not entirely sure which pockets you're being lined by right now. In a lot of cases, if that makes sense, right? Because I took this from a solar without telling anyone, right? So.
No, you got it under false pretenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So right now, I think
like there's no way you hid this thing from it. Like everyone knows you have this drone, right? Like you can't hide that fact.
Okay.
But like how you got it was changed, right? Like that was hidden.
Okay.
The fact, like this was like for all intents and purposes, it was masked as another like legitimate arrangement. We don't really care. It's a cover story, right?
It also depends on what everyone feels about me, like, fucking with the natural order of things.
Yeah. You're trying to find where your home is, right? Fucking Benny would be all up for that because he's still looking for his home.
Right. I wrote this in chat a while ago, but for the record, it's not illegal to like send tech to another reach, right? It's just typically looked down upon because it's like, dude, you're playing with fire. when you do this, right? Like, think of what happens when the sword give us stuff. And we have to vet it. What do you think they're going to do with what you have? Be careful.
Yeah.
For the most part, people say that though because it's not like you're going to ever reap the either the rewards or consequences in your lifetime. But it's just in general being like, just why?
It's like
you're not going to see any benefit from it, and you're just causing a ruckus. Right?
It's like,
you might cause the thing you try to prevent.
It's
just
like
imagine
giving
Logan sending them like technology for FTL communication, and then humans on Earth to build a bomb and blow themselves up.
Exactly. Like there's a common wisdom here of being like this, the entities in the sword reach, they give us stuff and they're infinitely smarter than us, and we can still fuck up and everything. So like, what do you think? What makes us think that we're better than those people about sending information to someone to help them?
Yeah.
I mean, you could always give cavemen's like nukes, and then you have a Vandal Savage on your hands.
It's possible, right? But ultimately, it's all just like, I mean, if you do it, no one's going to stop you. And it's not like you're going to, once again, you're not going to see anything for maybe anywhere 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000 years. Like,
so I know what it is that I would have. It's probably going to be... it's probably going to be notice. It's within character because everything else is the same, right? Like, there's no way I can use charisma-based skills on this, but I think notice would be the one that he would... he would be most likely to do.
Yeah, you're analyzing the serial numbers, you're analyzing some of the leftover bits, and you're trying to notice clues here about the whereabouts of Earth from here to.
So how would this fit? Would that be a wisdom, intelligence, dexterity? Where would you think?
It sounds like intelligence, right? You're analyzing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is essentially you're looking for clues in the code and hardware to help you out.
7. It's not so bad, I guess.
Right. So this is how it works. For this is what I would call a downtime activity in this game. By doing a downtime activity, there's no chance of absolute failure, right? Like, you're not stressed. It's not like someone has a gun to your head. You're not like pressed for anything to do this, right?
Yeah.
It's just this measures the amount of progress you get. Right? And so for these purposes here, I think this is already, just in terms of scope and scale, is a difficult progress chart. So this wasn't, unless you were able to get, you know what? Let's do it this way. You need to get a total of 24 on your check to get this done. You have 7.
You mean like, it's additive? Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
And here are some things you can also do, right? If it's fictionally appropriate, maybe you can spend like 1,000 credits to give you an extra +1 on this role, representing like you're hiring people or extra tools to help you out here, and basically you can like scale up your role.
All right, so I've just
based
put
on extra help and stuff like that, right?
I've just put on my lofty goal 7 of 24.
Yeah,
total score.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So to give you an idea of what this looks like is like you go back over to your map, right? Or how are you keeping track of like where Earth is based on the information? Like, you find new coordinates, right, that get you closer to your goal.
Like you're trying to triangulate it.
Yeah, exactly. But your answers only give you more questions, right? You're like one step closer here. And now there's like, the camera maybe goes back from your notes and you just see like a bunch more bulleted numbers with like question marks or like spaces for like the next numbers that you need. Like, your equation's not done.
I like the idea that it's not really an equation either. To me, it's more like I'm just trying to like put lines on things and trying to work it out myself and just being like,
It's like a conspiracy map.
Yeah,
right.
Almost like I'm not like I was an astronaut, but at the same time, interstellar navigational travel wasn't exactly on the curriculum.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So like it's it is what it is. Yeah.
Right. And so during other parts of missions, if you ever be like, I want to go to the black market and buy like an information broker who could help me with my project or whatever. That's possible, right? And then you'd be like, I spent 1,000 gold, or like we can do a haggle roll or trade roll or whatever, and be like, I'm going to buy progress on this thing.
Cool. I'll remember that. Yeah.
That kind of stuff, right? It's true for anything where it's appropriate, right?
All right. Interesting. Cool. All right, so yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past couple of days while we're refueling. So just get that montage video out of the way.
You are muted, Eric.
Yep. I thought I pressed the button to unmute my mic, but I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I think we also want to look at the sword tech analysis, right? Of what we got.
I would like to
Yeah.
oversee that process and like check all the data to see. Like I have a lot of memories going back from like all my different members of my colony, so I want to see if there's anything maybe even familiar in there.
Right. So here's what we know. You know for a fact that this thing is not contaminated with the sword class 2 anomaly.
Ah.
Okay. That is true after we ran it through the analysis patcher thing last session. But the contents, right? The contents that Benny has been analyzing here, it's revealed itself that this is something being used for another thing. This is actually a fragment of another sword class remnant, like an entity that belonged there. It's just a fragment of an intelligence. It is being used. Imagine if okay, so they can't really die, but like imagine you're using like a coma patient's brain to encrypt communications, and that's kind of what it's doing. The encryptions that keep an intelligence itself, like its identity, is currently been rewritten and reused. You don't know how. It doesn't look like it was done by Chandrans. It is used to keep some sort of coded message inside of it. And this coded message does not belong to you. This coded message used to belong to the Chandrans, but actually belongs to your employers, your Solar. They're the actual government itself. So that's what you know so far. Do we want to investigate further here? Because you have a whole ship to look at and tools to use.
Yeah, no, okay, so since this is a fragment, he is going to see the compatibility with it to some of the other tech on the ship. Like this is a piece of something's brain, right? Essentially.
Yep, exactly.
So
it's
he's
a fragment of another brain that would be close to something like the Sword of Octogaris, right?
So he's going to start looking at possible ways of integrating that with our current tech.
That would be, as far as you know, your ship is not equipped to do something like that.
Okay.
To synthesize an intelligence.
Maybe not the ship, but my source code module or I don't know what's like my brain.
Yeah, that is possible. But the reason why I said it wasn't you're not equipped to do that is that, yeah, I mean, if you want to like literally expose yourself to whatever this entity is, and that could fundamentally change you, right? Yes, then by all means, we could go down that route, right? But that imagine you have a bag of like blood, right? And you can tell that it's the type of blood it is, but you won't know what it does until you put it in your system, which is probably not good. And Kiku's looking at me really weird, and I understand. But like,
it's like trying to shove type B blood into somebody who takes type A.
Yeah, like you don't know. You don't know the reaction.
That would just. I know what that would do.
I mean, that we do. Yeah, it makes you sick, and you reject it, and it gets real bad. It's not good, right?
It's more. I think it would be more like grafting a piece of like someone else's brain into your brain.
Yeah, grafting is kind of what it is.
So he's going to attempt to graft it into DD.
How many hard points does your VI have?
Oh man, you're asking me weird ass questions again.
Yes.
Eric, he's asking me weird questions again. I don't know the answer to.
Look, man, the game has mechanics for this exact purpose.
Yes. So you have a drone, right?
It's a repair drone, is what DD is being.
And drones are on heavy weapons, no lifestyles.
I saw it
Vehicles,
just
drones.
before, yeah. Drones, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a no, he doesn't have a drone. It's not a drone. There's a specific.
It's a VI.
It's a VI that's where was it?
Where's my star?
Robots and VIs, and then he's got the repair bot, I believe it's what it was, and I believe they have to be inside of like a thing, but I think the repair bot, the VI worker bot is actually what I think you had, right?
What's the page?
Page
Yeah.
to 199. Oh no,
Right,
that's
so-
that's
because I
player
was-
characters. Sorry, my bad. What you want is 197.
Okay, 197.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's robots and VIs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a repair bot. She was acting as a repair bot.
I don't know what
Okay.
ML is.
Then I think it'd be fair to say, I don't think you, in order to equip DD with this, DD does like DD's floating repair bot system. You need to put DD in a different type of drone body to like synthesize this, right? Like the drone repair system is very like self-contained. It's small. To do something like this means like you need to
Yeah.
hook it up to some sort of like big mainframe and like
So
monitor.
it
Like basically
literally reads
take the
here.
drone to a like high-tech hospital type
Yeah.
Oh,
situation, right? Like you need to get it to a big old supercomputer system to do the synthesis.
Yeah, they do not
it's-
have
You
quantum
can't do it
identity
from
cores.
like a laptop,
and
right?
they
That's what I'm
are
trying to say.
Inexplorably tied to the specific hardware and chassis that they were created to operate.
Right.
So if you want to expand her capacity or capabilities, you need to find a higher tech level thing or a different chassis altogether.
Could we put it in an ancillary body?
I was going to
No?
say
Okay.
I have. Would
Yes.
it be reasonable to say that I kept my sarcophagus that was my cryo chamber? That would be like a mobile hospital in itself because it had to keep me alive for several centuries while I was inside of it, and it housed Dee Dee as well. Because that's how the Zyomedians they have their one drone that it's like their best friend for
Okay.
the rest of the life kind of deal.
Right. But what's the cost of that?
Shorting out the sarcophagus and making it inert and useless.
And
Okay.
Didi.
Yeah, and could obviously damage GD, like the sheer process of doing that. Also,
Before we go down that road, like I just want to say that I have two goals about this. First one is that's the immediate goal. I find a way to copy a section of the sword encryption into my source code, and then my third long-term goal is find a way to restore the sword sentient network. And I mentioned the other day that AIs can sort of consume one another. So
Yeah.
I think trying to incorporate it into my source code is something that I would be inclined to do.
right.
And Benny would definitely not want you to do that
Why is that?
because Benny has secret objectives that require him to not have it incorporate into you.
Right. So this is a PvP thing. We haven't had that yet, but I'm surprised it took us only 3 sessions to get to it. This is fine. Here are some things that I need you guys to know, right? First off, you guys, I want us to all work as a team, so talk about it as you can. Don't be prepared to take it out of character and just talk to each other as people first and see
Yeah.
like it's reasonable, right? We're adults, we can do that, right? Number 2, this is true though. This is it, mouse guard. If you have a goal about something and you give up on the goal, you don't get partial experience on that. If you give it up, you don't get anything. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can rewrite a goal for free. Like, doesn't just you don't get anything. So that is the cost. Number 3, this thing doesn't belong to either of you. This is something that you are charged to protect and transfer.
Okay.
So that's for other people maybe who are not as invested in this, maybe are invested being like, you have an employer that this should be going to.
Okay. That makes sense. I know how Benny would handle all of that.
I actually was thinking since last week that since we are supposed to deliver this thing to someone else, that's why my goal says find a way to steal, copy, or replicate the section of the sword encryption. So my consuming the thing, I would not like to make it so that it doesn't exist anymore after I consume it, because then I would be practically stealing from our employers, right?
Yes.
Assuming that my sword tech core is able to copy and replicate this code to consume it, that's what I would be inclined to do. I understand that no one could copy it because
it's risky.
It's sword tech, but maybe, just maybe, I'm able to do that.
Yeah. I think it's this is true for both of you. This is true for Zippy and you, Derek. Both of you would be able to copy it. I would say this safely, maybe. It's still like this process is. Let me be very clear. Fictionally, this stuff is very dangerous to do. It's also to do this without leaving a trace that you made a copy of this is also near impossible, right? Because you're dealing with like encryption, and so when you hand this over, it's going to look like someone touched it and someone made a copy on this date, right? It's like it's hard coded into the way the encryption works, right?
Bloody Chandrons did it.
Yeah.
Was it Chandrons?
I mean, you could. Masking that is a whole other kettle of fish and basically unheard of, right? Like this is like a quantum, like you have a quantum core, which is kind of like your intelligence thing. And like it's kind of like you entangle with that encryption for a moment, and by entangling yourself, that stuff is identifiable on a very, very fundamentally physical layer, like of the universe.
Yeah.
So masking that is kind of like, yeah, maybe if no one, it's kind of like when you connect online, it's like your MAC address, right? Like your MAC address is written there. And like spoofing, but only it's more difficult to spoof than your MAC address.
Yeah, I was thinking like a 4-year-old saying, "No, I didn't eat the ice cream with all chocolate in his face."
Yeah, exactly, right. With and when you're done, the empty cone says Derek ate this cone, like written on it.
Like, the other thing that's worth pointing out too, specifically, like if you guys are looking to upgrade your chassis or your VIs or whatever, the system actually has in place rules for doing that. You don't necessarily have to consume like the quest item in order to do that, right? Like,
it's more flavor with Benny's backstory, so that's why he's.
I mean, like
that's
you
why
could.
He's doing it.
I mean, you could specifically say you look for stuff in order to do it. Like for example, for the VIs, there is things in here about like expert system bots, for example. Which is how the VIs or the NPC VIs at least upgrade their capabilities, which is to say it's like much better than a human or like a player character upgrading, whereas player characters get like one thing they can choose from every time they level up.
The reason why he's choosing this is it's very specific to what DD needs.
Okay. I mean,
so
I don't know what it is that you're trying to do, and honestly speaking, like I feel like a lot of this overhead would probably be alleviated by not making it secret anymore.
Yeah, and it's to that point where now it's okay. So DD needs the sword tech to realize her full potential.
So you're saying that by incorporating sword tech into DD, you're saying that
it specifically goes with the Ziomedes. Like Ziomedes made these, like they took sword tech and they improved on it, and DD was like the first prototype built from like a sword brain, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is too much. So we're gonna dumb it down before we mass produce it."
Okay. I mean, so what does that mean mechanically, though?
That whenever he gets some sword tech that he can integrate into DD, he's going to try to bring Dee Dee back to her full potential.
What does the full potential mean mechanically, though? Is that like you doing the
unshackled AI or whatever? Like,
you mean
really-
okay? So there's a difference in the rules.
so like
specific-
sword. What, Eric? It's like sword level intelligence, but I'm not expecting to get this done by the like beginning of the campaign. But it's like he's picking up sword things and he's jamming it into Dee Dee to hope that it like integrates and it restores his friend.
Right.
You know, because him and Dee Dee have been together since the very beginning. And it's like your friend just lost all of its memories and is reduced to a simple repair bot.
So maybe VI is not what you need then, like specifically because you can't unbreak VI in this game, and it's like there's no mechanics for it. But true AI, on the other hand, you can limit their functionality to the point where they become basically VI.
Okay.
That's what I am.
Yeah, but you're technically an unbroken AI, like specifically. But like a really, really dumbed down AI is essentially a VI. But like specifically the same thing happens with AI in this game. Like if you put it inside of a thing that's limited in scope, that's the limitation of what the
And half of that was dealt with the sword anomaly too, and the fact that Dee Dee was powering the sarcophagus for a long time.
So let's do it this way, right? Now this is I know this is probably not the best television, but like talking about this stuff is important.
Yeah.
I think like it makes sense for Benedictus to know all of this. And it must hurt you a lot to know that Dee Dee is locked as a VI until you can basically get yourself a quantum entangle core. The same thing that like the ship has. And you're going to have to literally like kill another AI to put Dee Dee into it.
There's essentially
right?
7
or fight
levels,
when it's dead, which is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Mechanically speaking, there are 7 levels of AI quantum processing that you need to go through before you can unbreak an AI.
Yeah,
I imagine
I would like to go through all that, just like slowly build her up that way.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm super into that. But I imagine your sarcophagus might be able to like unlock more of Dee Dee, but if you do that, you know that Dee Dee gets stuck to your sarcophagus and it doesn't follow you around, right? Because like it's a bigger space for it, but it's also a cage. It can't, obviously you can't carry the lug of the sarcophagus around, but Dee Dee could recover a little bit more of itself there, right? Like you made the sacrifice at some point to be like, it's more important for Dee Dee to have some functionality and follow me around and help me out than it is for you to just stay there out of contact with me and then just constantly return to you. Like,
yeah.
And it's also,
you're hoping to find things along the way that maybe you can use for her. And
it's
so
also,
like having them around is useful.
It's also pretty interesting too, because you actually get routines as an AI as well, which is more in flavor for what you want to do.
Okay.
Because as a limited AI, you only get access to partial routines. And then there's this whole upgrade mythos in here, which is to say, you start off at maximum processing 1, which is, 1,000 credits. To get +6, it's 5 million credits. And then +7 is like you specifically need something else. So the way that you could specifically tailor this quest in game is to say you need to get all the way up to level 6, and then when you get to level 7, it would be reasonable to assume that sword tech artifacts would be the thing that's required to take you over the edge to +8, because there's no cost involved from going from 7 to 8, but you do need like a plot item or some script to make that happen. So if you wanted to like have this as a character thing, you could say that in game you're doing upgrades to Dee Dee to get her to like level 7, which is the Unbreak AI area. But in mechanically speaking terms, that's you obtaining wealth to buy materials in order to make that happen, to allow her capacity to be big enough to allow her to take in an artifact level plot item. So essentially speaking, your methodology is the same, except right now it's less about squandering, like hoarding technology, and more about like obtaining money, which is more in line with what Stars Without Number is actually about, which is to say, amassing wealth so you can do these sort of large scale upgrades to whatever components you have. And then then there's no in-player fighting at that point as well. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of how this all breaks down. And I don't know what level of where this fit into like your quest or your goal stuff, but that seems like a lofty goal, right?
Yeah, it is. That's the lofty goal.
I mean, theoretically speaking, you could even talk to Eric about like every time I spend enough money to upgrade, because it gets considerably harder after like the third time you do it. You need a lot of money to do that sort of stuff. So you could also tie that in with getting like small amounts of XP along the way. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And if you want to take a look at all that sort of stuff, it starts on page 286.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
So that's basically what that means essentially. So sorry to just like knowledge dump on you there, but I felt like it was like there was. I mean, this game is super good about giving you sort of guidelines to follow for this sort of shit, which is really, really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep moving a little bit and do a little bit of goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our more downtime. So like, what are we gonna do with this? With this
artifact?
Tech? Yeah.
So, from what I'm told, is I shouldn't try to integrate it because it won't do anything.
I mean, she doesn't have the, like, narratively speaking, she probably wouldn't have the capacity to do that right now. I mean, if you look at it like that, right? So it's up to your character whether or not you want to study it further or whatever, right? Like,
all right, here are some like hard rules, right? And that should help you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Both you and the ship cannot both like scan this thing and implement it. For DD to implement this, it means you need to put DD in the sarcophagus and hope that it doesn't break the sarcophagus in any way, which is very likely. Trying to analyze and scanning this and getting DD to new potential. Derek, if the Sword of Artagarus used this sword tech, this fragment of a personality, and you basically try to make a copy and like eat the copy, you open yourselves up to whatever fragment of intelligence this thing is, and it becoming a part of the ship.
Let's do it.
But only I'm saying is that only one of you can do something about this, right? Skimming, like you can only skim once from this thing before you break it. So who is skimming it is the question. Who gets
I'm gonna attempt to convince them that it's useless junk. So he can. So yeah. So Benny. So he could on the process into integrating it. He's going to try to convince the crew that it's useless junk. It's nothing. They basically had a nickel that they thought was a really rare nickel, but if you actually look on it, it's just a reprint.
I'm going to tell you right now that specifically speaking, if you try and pull the wool over everyone's eyes, Logan will reply, it doesn't matter because we're tasked with retrieving it and bringing it back. So its actual functionality is irrelevant to what we actually need to do.
Fucking with it will possibly put into question. It might question how much money you actually should be getting for this finished contract.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Look, it's being sold as encryption codes. So if you use the encryption, that can possibly denigrate it, right? Which means it might not be worth as much to the seller.
Yeah.
Which in this case is your entire local solar.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what Benny would do. Benny would probably just he trying to think of what Benny would do, and Benny would probably just try to integrate it anyways. That's just what Benny would do.
Well, it sounds like two people want to do the same thing, right?
That's why I was like, oh, I'm going to try to convince people, and if I failed the convince roll, then it's like, oh well, you caught me. It's actually useful. Here you guys go.
It's not you can't do a convince roll unless Derek says that they are capable of being convinced. Right?
Yeah,
and if they are
to any hardware that I have access to.
Benny would probably know that if he hooked it up to anywhere that you are, you would know exactly everything that Benny knows. So he probably kept it off the grid.
Then I would insist to have access to it.
Now, okay. Hold on. I have something.
Okay.
There's no way you can keep your sarcophagus off the grid. You need the power of the ship to power your sarcophagus.
Okay. Fine. That's fine.
I feel like just being more open might solve all these problems, to be honest with you as well. Like, just out of curiosity, there, Alex, how much
make a deal.
How much have you told the crew about like your predicament?
About Didi and
about your intentions to bring your friend back, which is it's a very personal thing, right?
He's not. He probably wouldn't explain it because he doesn't think you guys would understand. Especially, it's like, this is my robot friend. We've been friends since we were kids, or whatever the equivalent of my race's kids is, and I'm going to take sword tech and try to bring her back.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I feel like you're probably going to run into like issues convincing everyone that this is the appropriate action to take. I mean, so Logan is a very emotionally driven person, being a charisma based person. That's generally how that sort of shit works. So in order for you to, I guess, convince the team that, instead of returning this thing to where we're supposed to go, I want to use it for my personal gain. You're going to need to be able to, like, I guess, either come up with something that's emotional or whatever, or I guess be open about it. Either one, right? Either one will suffice.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. I guess, yeah. No, Derek, you would know that it's not bogus junk. Yeah, and then Benny's going to come out into the I guess the main deck, and he's going to call a meeting.
All right.
Okay.
I put down the report I'm writing and
Benedictus.
give them my attention.
Okay.
Come eating a bowl of cereal.
Benny comes over and he places his wrench on, I guess, the star map, and he kind of lifts himself up, so he's kind of like on a podium. And he gestures over to Didi, who's just kind of like, Didi kind of is like a weebo, if you ever seen Flubber kind of deal. She's just floating around.
Weebo.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. But instead it's just, she kind of like says yes or no or error or whatever. Right now she's very simple.
Oh, right, that yellow fucking robot with the TV in it.
Yeah, but like, think of that, but in a dodecahedron format.
Oh, like a bit from Tron.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. She's floating, and he's like, "This is Didi, as you all know. She used to be a powerful artificial intelligence that was given to us by a sword class being."
I'm just sitting there, just probably like, I am aware that you have a robot. Yes.
Now, where are you going with this?
Ever since my entombing event, in which I was entombed in my sarcophagus and left on cryostasis during the events of the Sword 2 Anomaly Scream, and I was I guess exhumed a couple centuries after. Dee Dee has been dumbed down. She went to, I guess, she watched too many TV, like cartoons or something, or, read too many comic books because it rotted her brain. And whatnot.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, but leave cartoons out of this, okay? They've done nothing wrong, and they'll continue to do nothing wrong. So
I was just using human analogies.
There's only one human here.
I know, but he just doesn't look like he understands, Addie. Okay, so think of, she was a genius, and now she's not. She used to be a supercomputer, a super intelligence, and now she's a glorified wrench.
I can sympathize with that. I was part of the Great Sword Sentient Network, but now I'm...
I literally have nothing to compare that to. I'm sorry.
Maybe social media.
Okay, think of Stephen Hawking's. Great, powerful mind, and then his body degraded to where he was just a mind, but he was forever trapped in his body.
So like the opposite of that. So it's like a reverse Stephen Hawking.
Exactly. She's in this great body.
Why didn't he switch bodies?
Why didn't he switch bodies? Because he's not an AI there, Eddie. He's a.
I know, but he could have downloaded his consciousness to a quantum core and switch bodies. No.
No, he's not an AI. He was a scientist.
Oh, you're thinking of Walt Disney. No, that's a different person.
Right. Wait. Walt Disney. Okay. I'd like to first and foremost say that the LGMs points at himself. We have IP over that, not Walt Disney. Okay. All right. It was based off of us. I don't know why. Anyways.
Can you please stop with the human references? They seem to be complicating things.
Right. Anyways, she used to be.
This.
I do it with like all four hands.
I'm not ready for your level of sass. Okay, like I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Right. Anyways, so she was made out of a piece of sword brain, almost. When we designed her, she was supposed to be the big unifier of the forge. She was able to run the forge. She was able to be anywhere at any time in the other dodecadrones. And we found out that she had a personality of herself, and she was almost to the verge of being alive. The grand inventor decided to shackle her and put roadblocks on everything until she was, because we didn't want something that was smarter than us. We needed something. It was. Look, there was a great faction split in the Dodeca consulate.
It sounds like I need to show you a documentary called Terminator. Maybe
documentary.
So there was two factions in the Dodeca consulate. Ones that said that we shouldn't shackle the AI, that our sword, gods gave us a gift, and we should treasure it, as if it was our own. And then there were some of us saying that was too much power and we need to shut it down. So eventually they reproduced all the dodecadrones with a very dumbed down version of Dee Dee. This Dee Dee is dodecadrone 001. And I have a theory that if I can integrate more sword tech into her, that we could bring her back to what she once was.
All right, so let me get this straight. In a roundabout way, you're asking us if you can jam that triangle thing into your floaty triangle thing. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're being paid to bring that somewhere. So unless you've got that money to cover that, and then those dudes are cool with it. But I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, Benny. It's a lot of money.
But she's my friend.
I understand, and I think we'll find more.
There's a bigger problem, Logan. You don't see this because of bio nature.
I'm sorry, because of what now?
But because of your bio nature. The real problem is that Diddy doesn't have the bandwidth to support.
You know, we used that terminology before as well, but that was more like how much work you can do in a day. So maybe that doesn't. She doesn't have enough bandwidth. Why don't you just download some more RAM or something?
He kind of like rubs his hands on his face. That's not how that works. You don't download more RAM. You place more RAM.
Hey,
and
you wouldn't steal a car
tech.
now, would you?
That's true. However,
I would definitely steal a car. What kind of car are we talking about?
Anyway, so I think the biggest problem here isn't that you want to, put the triangle thing in your floaty triangle thing. It's more that we're going to piss off literally our employers if we do that.
Not if we say we lost it in the incursion.
However, we do have a whole planet of people that says otherwise. So unless you want to blow up the planet to cover your tracks, I mean, that's a little far. That's like on the dark side of things,
This is actually a node problem. Diddy doesn't have the capacity to support this, and you know this, Benedictus. You're gonna fry her. You should upgrade her first. You know this is true. On the other hand,
but this is my friend, Eddie.
I know it's your friend, and that's why you should upgrade her, not fry her.
I got
I'm
the
confused.
text.
Are we talking about lunch now? Like, what's going on?
No, this has a potential of overloading your systems.
Oh, just give her a bigger backpack or something.
Yeah, but not
mine. I pull out like a little hollow, like I guess. Do they have holographic generators that I could pull up like a model of my
sarcophagus? You guys are like in the main. You're probably in like the main hall of the ship. I'm sure there's something like some sort of hollow display you could use. Yeah,
so he pulls up on a hollow display the sarcophagus. This sarcophagus is supposed to be able to run for.
Whoa! What is this MacGuffin?
What is a MacGuffin?
An essential plot item.
Oh yeah, no. This is the sarcophagus that I was exhumed from. It has life support. It has medical supplies.
Mm-hmm.
It only tailored to Diomedes, and he like looks around. Sorry. It also is like a docking port for Didi.
So you're gonna put the triangle floaty thing inside the
big box,
and then you're gonna put another triangle thing inside of it, but it's still gonna fry it, right?
It may not.
Probably.
It probably will, but it has a less likely chance of me just taking this little triangle thing and jamming it into Didi.
Okay.
Yeah. However, even if you succeed, Didi's gonna be. The sarcophagus is gonna be her prison. You won't be able to take her out.
That's why I would find a way to circumnavigate that.
It sounds like a lot of problems up front. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I have a better suggestion. It is a goal of mine to reconnect the sword network, and I could use this tech for that. Before you say something, Logan, I think I can find a way to use my quantum core to copy the encryption so that we can still deliver to our employers.
Are we still speaking common? What's going on here?
Basically, he wants to take this triangle thing, jam it into his giant triangle thing, and then Benny doesn't get that was a joke. He literally thinks you don't understand. So he's going to take this small triangle thing, jam it into that big triangle thing, but he's going to make a copy of this triangle thing so we can still give to our employer. But the problem with that,
artifact for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
She just like eats it.
I sit on it.
I also have a triangle thing.
I'm like sitting on it, and I like wrap my legs around so no one can get to it.
Okay, all right. Look, just give me a chance to try it. I mean, Didi means nothing to you guys.
But you mean something to you, and you know you're not thinking straight, my man.
This is the first piece of sword tech other than the ship, and I really don't feel like jamming Didi into this that I've come across since waking up, and I would like to at least give it a try.
So, you know, the reason why you're not thinking straight is because we're literally being given missions to go find this stuff more frequently, especially if we complete this one. There are going to be other opportunities. There always are opportunities.
And then are you gonna give me the sword tech if I ask?
Depends on the circumstances, absolutely. And if you think that your friend won't die on the process, then absolutely.
Wait, Eric, if Bennett tries to do this thing with Didi and fails, what would happen to the encryption triangle? Would it still be okay?
You don't know because, I mean, you're basically scanning this encryption stuff. It involves, once again, more quantum entanglement stuff. You only know once it's observed. Words.
Observed.
I cannot say anything. Observed. Thank you. So when you do that, you do know the spectrum of possibilities. One is that you've damaged it. And it doesn't take to you. That's it. It's broken. It's useless to nobody. Another possibility here is that it is consumed, but it's part of you now, and that is it. By like the copy fails, and instead of a copy, it has just been completely transferred. For better or worse, you're married to whatever this thing is, right? Success could also mean that you do scan it, you make a copy, you're able to sequester it in like your own separate part of your quantum drive, and you can study it and probe it and get everything safely. That's totally on the table too, right?
So why don't we do this?
Why
don't we do this, guys?
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's do a vote, and we can just leave it to that.
There's a problem with the vote. There's 4 of us and alternatives.
There's 5. Thank you. Points at Didi.
There's 3 alternatives. So how are you gonna do this vote?
Actually, there's about 4 million of us. I point to Yekthenas.
She's gonna win.
So
she is currently one entity, therefore she is only 1 vote. I would like to
resent that.
Also, you're forgetting about like these. I like.
I would like to reduce him to 1/8 of a vote.
So here's what we do. Our job. That's the first one, right? We'll just put that up there. You know, our job first and foremost. Second one, you know, we do Benny's triangle collision, and the third, we do a little bit of sword play. There are options. Let's vote. Who votes for do our job? All right, that wins.
Benny raises his hand for integrating it into Didi, and then he like whistles to Didi, and Didi like lights up with the green check mark.
And I also raise my hand for the same thing.
Oh wow! Okay, shit.
I don't think Didi counts. I'm sorry. It's
a stalemate still.
Then it's still a 2-2.
Should we consider the Solar's vote?
The Solar can't know who I am. They can't know that what Didi is.
I don't like this. I don't like that we're not doing our job. Honestly, you know.
All right. Well, it's out there and it's known. If we find any sword tech, I need to look at it.
Sure. As
Fair.
long as you consult with your crew, I like do the little wave thingy to include all of us. That you want to put it in your thing, and we all agree that it's the right time, and you confirm that your little friend there, little triangle, isn't going to explode in the process. Then I think we'll be okay with it.
She's not a triangle. She's a dodecahedron.
Multiple
Thank
triangles
you.
then, okay?
We, for the record, would like to state that we are mostly opposed to your plan on the grounds that it would likely destroy your friend.
Okay,
What they said.
fine. But you guys are going to help me find salvage or other equipment so I can get Dee Dee back up and running.
Ideally, salvage from your race would be helpful.
Yeah, but the problem is the only person who knows where the forge is, and he gestures at Dee Dee. She's the only one who could probably find it.
More reason to not risk frying her.
But even more of a reason why I need to get her back up and running so I can at least find where the forge is.
Yes, safely.
So,
Just out of curiosity, Mr. Sword, Mr. Addy McSwordy, how much money would be required to get Dee Dee up to standard for this?
Millions of credits, probably. At
five
least hundreds of thousands.
5,300 and 16,000 credits.
Oh, well,
think
I
his
mean,
figure
we've
is-
got about 35 now, so we're a ways off.
That's
All
what
right.
I was for him to upgrade her hardware 1st. She's 5 millions away from being capable of doing it. She's gonna get fried.
Right.
Maybe she. If
I
she was
wonder. I wish we had a place. Yeah, I wish we had an AI here that I could probably salvage it from. He kind of just like looks at whatever ancillary body Addy is speaking
You'll never
from.
get past my ancillary buddies.
Oh, you forget that I am the engineer of the ship.
All right. So I'm going to go back to the kitchen.
Right, fine. We'll just sell it. But now you guys know I'm looking for sword tech, and don't be surprised if I'm locked in my room trying to integrate that. Whatever. And he walks in and he closes the door.
I'm still sitting on the artifact.
Did he?
And that's when I ask Ictinas, I have a question. Among your people, if you call yourselves people, how do you vote? Do you get a vote each colony or each individual?
One colony, one vote.
I like the idea that there's an internal debate that happens in the fraction of a second. You know?
I mean,
I have a question. Before you answer, I have another question. Are your individual parts voting right now for the answer?
And are their individual parts voting for the answer that they vote for? Okay. At this
we
moment,
feel mildly offended by this series of questioning.
So you don't vote. Vote is offensive.
Do you take a vote amongst all your various processes in your entire makeup of self?
My processes are not sentient. It's the total of them that make up my sentience. That's why it is only one entity. But it is for you unless you tell me otherwise.
If you removed a part of yourself in one of your ancillaries and it was separated from the rest of you, would it not be sentient?
As long as it was disconnected from me, yes. But as soon as connection came back, like back when we were in Chandra, there's not two of us anymore. Well, maybe it's the same for you. Can you separate into two? If you wanted to?
We, at certain stages of our lives, do separate into those that make us up and recombine with others to create new life.
Wait, I have a question out of character. Ictinas is a bunch of insects, right?
Yeah.
Like just bundled together?
They sort of melt down and fuse together in a cocoon.
Is that what you are, like a cocoon?
No, like I emerged from the cocoon. It's sort of like how when butterflies are in cocoon, or like when caterpillars turn to butterflies when they go into a cocoon and basically just liquefy themselves and change their DNA and then emerge as a butterfly.
Then I'm confused. What is your like external appearance? Because I thought like a swarm of insects.
Oh no!
No, it's not a bunch of bugs in a trench coat. No, it's one. Yes.
Because that's how you described it. That's how I've been thinking.
That was when I was just doing concepts.
So what's external appearance?
I am like one big sort of praying mantis-ish bug with 4 arms, 4 legs, and wings. I'm sort of like a deep blue color with a golden sheen, but others of my species tend to be more green or brown.
She's a shiny Scyther, basically.
Yeah.
Think of it, shiny Scyther. Okay. Think of it also this way: there's many brains, one body, versus yours is many bodies, one brain. That's the difference.
Yeah, I get it. Then forget my whole line of questioning because it was ridiculous. I thought you were like a bunch of bugs.
Yes, I was very confused.
Yeah. Just quick nerd out moment. Caterpillars remember when they become butterflies. They maintain their memories even though they turn into soup.
Yeah, that's a big component of the race.
How do we know that?
Conditionals. Condition testing.
Oh.
Like sugar response on branches, testing kind of like things, and like they remember. It's nuts. Sorry.
And on that note, I send off my report to my government reporting that smuggler, because we are very much against smugglers because we think bad activities and sort of end up invariably corrupting the whole species. Yay.
So Rixodrix?
Yes.
Or Rixoclix is actually sorry. Yeah. Okay. Get wrecked, Rixoclix. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna note them for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you guys want to do? I thought there was mentions of possibly stripping down some of the guns that you have to get the mod pieces out of them to mod your weaponry. That was on the table.
Is there anything I can do to work towards my secret goal?
What is it?
Well, it's a secret.
You guys got one secret goal. You're not getting all of them.
I think also that...
No, not at this moment. But that will probably end up just getting solved in one go at some point as like a big character. You know?
Okay. I'm good with that.
I also think that Benedictus wanted to pack some grenades or explosives.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so that's another thing, right? Like these are things to note because this is a good time. This is a good time to do it. It's downtime before other missions, and so just so you guys know, your destination to talk to your actual like solar port is in a place. It's a planet called Argus in the Uno system. It's one stop above you. So that is kind of where you're supposed to be going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have this mission list like on our ship,
Yeah.
or have we not received that yet?
No, you've received it as you guys are. So like you guys aren't going anywhere right now.
Yeah.
You guys are currently refueling, and as you're refueling, like this thing's coming in, and this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I try to do some research so we have a little more information going into these?
Yeah. But all you have is what's available on the net right now.
Yeah.
So like it's always going to be like all your information is almost assuredly out of date unless you're in the same system, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I
you're
understand
getting
that, but I
mail. Okay.
I don't want to like stumble into a situation and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" and find out there's not breathable atmosphere.
I say we go for the second one, which is the better paid. 8,000 credits.
I will share it in chat so they know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in all of these except kind of the 5th one.
Isn't it the mission list that's on Roll20?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a mission list on Roll20. There's 5 missions to choose from right now. Each of these missions, if you don't, they have timers on them. So like, you know, if you go do another mission, another solar ship is going to do it, or someone else is going to do it, and things can change, right? When you go to other systems, you obviously are going to more likely get missions that are closer to you, right? Just because that's how it works. If you want a mission that's near the new system, you should probably go around new, and you'll get more jobs that are local, right?
I'm also curious about like the difference between a high priority and a low priority mission. Like, what is like a high priority mission being that it's like important, or like what?
Yeah. So none of these jobs list necessarily their employer, but like a high priority mission like this is, this is a mission designated by your solar that like this needs to get done now. There's a short time frame on it, or something's going to happen. For example, mission 4, the one they're talking about, I'll share in chat. But basically, a station has an emergency power loss, and it needs a new piece of equipment in order to keep it going. You know that this place stores cryogenically. It has a cryogenic frozen race that we have not figured out how to restore. Like they're basically in suspension until we could figure out how to save them and how to adapt for the new reality. You know, they're pre-Scream. They're nothing like particularly like quote unquote special, other than they're especially unique in that this is their way to survive the Scream, right? They basically
so unique alien race. Okay, I'm interested in that one, mostly because I want to look at these dudes and be like, oh, they're cool.
I am interested from
they're called Solstice.
Humanitarian standpoint.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're called the Solstice, and they haven't been awoken since the Scream. So basically, they're just a bunch of coma patients. I'm using a lot of coma analogies today. Really sorry if that's offensive. But yeah, they're just basically it's about a couple thousand on a space station designed by a old power before it died to basically be like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I can't make you host. Here's the best thing I can do. Bye. Before like everything went bad. And since then, everyone's like, well, maybe we'll figure it out, but they're not in pain. They're not doing anything. It's fine. But now all of a sudden there was a breakdown there, and now everybody's like, oh crap. So it's a high priority.
So this is like Passengers, the movie.
They're not waking up, no, but they're popsicles.
No, sir, I am a meat popsicle.
Benny would be interested in both mission 3 and 4.
So votes, I guess I vote for 4.
4.
Yeah.
All right. 4.
Keep in mind, looking at Roll20, I sort of have the local map of the systems.
Yeah.
This map is about 6 times as big. This is just your neighborhood. This is sort of like your safe local system map that's run by your solar. So the colony system is to your south. I say south proportionally.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're going is actually to above you.
Wait, for 4?
No. In order for you to get paid to deliver off this piece of sword tech, you need to go deliver it to your Primarch, who's currently situated on Argus, which is part of the Uno system. It's a big, huge. It's not a gas giant, but it's like a brown giant that people live on in the clouds.
Well, in that case, count me in for mission 2 instead of 4.
Yeah, because if we're there already,
Yeah.
it's 8,000 credits. Yeah, mission 2 for me too.
Mission 4.
I really want to help those people.
Mainly because would the mission report say what people are on there, being the pre-Scream race?
Sure. So think of it this way: it's expensive and it's difficult to send FTL communications. you have to send basically tweets, right?
Yeah.
Almost like RSS feed stuff, right? All you can kind of send is very kind of like short burst kind of information.
Is it one of those things where like we
Telegrams.
send them out to a server and then when you enter a thing, they get delivered? Okay.
Exactly. So they're like they're tweets, right? You get these missions out, and like this is how much they can fit on the information. You can flag it certain ways. You can also break down categories of the information you want to receive, in terms of like you could flag things as like like travel recommendations, flag things as food places, flag things as Kalani politics. So you get so whenever you show up, your inbox gets filled with the things that you care about, instead of everything else, right?
Yeah. In terms of access to drugs and shit like that, because are we able to just get drugs?
As long as the system's cool with it.
I mean, like Lyft and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Like Lyft is like a class is a medical standby. Yeah.
Okay. Because I want to carry some because I've got all these Lazarus patches, thinking that Lazarus patches were still the thing that you use to heal yourself, but.
So, totally. What you could do, just so you know, like I haven't worked it out just yet, but if you want, you guys work for the solar, like as on a permanent basis. You could always sell things and trade and do things with them on a better ratio than other people. However, you have to do it with them and not through an intermediary.
Okay.
So you want to go to Uno? So we want to fly north to Uno.
Yeah.
And go to Uno, and swing by the Pina, the refueling station, to see what the hell's going on over there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we have access to weapon lockers and stuff like that on the ship, right?
Yep.
So we have vac suits and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, just checking. Also, I haven't put down a goal because I finished my goal last session.
Right. Well, I don't think we're going to be playing for much longer, anyways.
So I put down a goal of find a new quest to gain more money. I don't think that works, though, right? That's kind of easy. So.
Well, that's fine. No, picking a mission is fine, and working towards it, yeah.
Okay. Good.
Right.
All right. Just checking because that's what I read at the start of the session. Because didn't know how long we'd be playing for.
Totally.
Okay, so let's drop off by the space station first, I guess, right?
Okay, so then, so you spend 4 days refueling, and then you guys are ready to go. So actually, I need you guys to do some astronavigating.
Yeah, so we've got a sheet here for everything, money and stuff like that. Are you going to upgrade it with the 35K that we got?
I'm not in charge of keeping track of your guys' finances.
Okay. What month are we on right now?
The first month, January.
Of 3,200?
Yeah. I'm calling it that right now. My plan, though, is to actually, I want to fictionally change it so that you guys, there are 4 main solar groups I think I'm going to use. And the idea is that there's 3 months of each of them. So basically your seasons or your solars, like the different solars, and like the only one of the few things that solars agree on is a unifying calendar for cosmic dates. And so what you're going to have is you're going to have rising or high and low solars. So I have names for. Have I ever given you guys the name list for solars?
No.
Oh shit. Well, all right. Let me post them. And I need one of them to be yours. So for everyone who's playing at home,
Helix,
it's
super easy to remember.
It's the Oleander Allure, the Vertigus Cadence, the Helix Leviathan, and the Trillium Quill.
I like Helix.
Those are the 4 solars.
Super easy for me to remember. So
I like the Trillium Quill. It reminds me of
I
the
like them
Checker's
all.
Guide.
let's vote. Helix.
Helix, Leviathan. Helix.
Alex?
Helix.
3
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
I guess I don't know.
Okay.
This is the name of the solar.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
solar.
right?
Yeah.
That's the name of your government. Yeah, of this region of space. This subsector of a sector of space is called this. because it is run primarily by the entity known as this thing. This one is Helix Leviathan.
Okay. Cool. All right. So,
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Well, how much does this cost to move?
What, in terms of fuel? Or what?
Yeah.
You're only going through one system, so I think the default amount.
Which is?
I think it's one. It depends on your ship, right?
How do we find that out?
I think it's part of your drive level.
Require one load of fuel. So to do a spike drill requires one load of fuel. So
Yeah.
So whatever
Which
that is.
just got.
What is our ship?
I think they do it in terms of loads.
They do, yes. So, but I guess
Just so you guys know, I actually have fuel bunkers, which I think lets me have an extra load of fuel.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
So, I mean, do you have a ship? Okay.
So then you have enough for 2 jumps then, right? Because you spent 4 days to refill both your regular and bunker.
Yeah, it says here, installing fuel bunkers allows the ship to carry 1 additional load of fuel.
Are you using the Udri Uwe character sheet for the ship? Or are you using something else, Derek?
I'm using the ship part in my Certificaries.
Right, okay.
Sheet. Everything's there.
Oh, cool. Then we don't need that. Okay. Okay. Does that make sense then?
So we don't need to pay for it until we pay for it.
Right.
Got it.
For purposes of this session and for the first mission, fuel was factored into the pay of this mission.
Okay. So
that's not always the case.
Radio. Where's the fuel on this page?
It's part of the ship.
No, I get that, but it doesn't have like a fuel space for it.
No, I don't think it does.
That's dumb. It doesn't. Ships should have I think it's typically a typical ship can only carry a load of 1 fuel. But I'm looking for that somewhere. Well, we don't have to worry about it too much right now. We'll worry about that later. Okay?
Yeah,
we don't have to waste time right now worrying about it. So, anyways, you guys are gonna. I need you guys to do the astronavigations, right?
Oh, that's a sword thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though one of us can
This is a
assist, I
default.
guess. So.
Yeah.
So what is it using?
Pilot.
Okay. Who does anyone have pilot at all? No.
Benny doesn't.
So you know the base difficulty for this drill space is 7.
Oh, you should be fine. Though I would like to help with notice, if possible. To basically just help charting stuff, I guess. All right.
Okay.
So I got to be the 7.
Yep.
All right, you get +1 on yours, Derek.
All right.
Okay. Modifier +1.
Make sure if you go over your skills, there's like a little drop down box. You can select which attribute you're using.
Right. So here's also, so just so you guys know, here's what you need. A spike drill requires 1 load of fuel. All right. A normal intra-system maneuvering, so like going from the edge of a drill space, so anything non-FTL, doesn't require any significant amount of fuel. Drill space refueling costs a flat 500 credits per load of fuel. So basically 1,000 credits of your job has been paid for this.
Okay, so I'll change that refueling cost on this page to 500 then.
Yeah. So just so you know, a safe drill procedure just by default takes at least half an hour to do. And the default is so you're going you have a drive 2 and you're going through 1 space. So I think it should take about 4 days if I do it right.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, so you guys spend 4 more days in space before you guys get there. You will be getting closer to the Pina, the refueling station, because refueling stations are typically near the edge of space to make it convenient, rather than close to planets. So basically, in order to get to Argus, you will pass by the system, but you've also been here for 4 days. So is there anything you guys wanted to do in these 4 days before we arrive, or what? Like, for example, upgrading those ships, doing anything special? Do you want to like send any messages out to anybody or anything?
Yeah, I would like Benedictus to put one of those mods from those guns onto my mag pistol.
Okay.
And specifically, I believe the one that we set. I'm just trying to find where those mods section was on this. Modifying. No, that's weapon. Where was it? I saw it in here. Modifying and building equipment. There we go. So there is. It's called the phasing tech, which is fixed -3. So I guess you need a 7 to pass, but it's like with a fixed -3. Now it specifically says here, Eric, that it costs money, but and 2 units of pre-tech salvage. But if we already have the modifications from another weapon, what would you say that would be if we're just transferring it from one thing to another?
I think it would be default. I still think it's 7 because you're dealing with some like complicated ass shit.
Mm-hmm. So we don't need any of the additional things to make it happen because we already have the mod.
Well, you need to basically break down these laser rifles, right?
Yeah.
To extract the mod and then put it into a ship. And to do all of that, rather than do multiple rolls, because I hate doing multiple rolls for things, I'd rather try to do it in one roll. This would be like either a trade. If you knew what you're doing, it could be a fix.
It specifically says fix, like it's fixed -3 to do this.
Right.
What is your fix at right now, Alex?
My fix is at 0.
Okay, so it'd be fixed -3. This is to install the mod.
All right.
And I try to help with a no.
Yeah. So you need to beat a 7, I guess, and your no to make that give a +1.
Yeah, this will just be like reminding Benedictus of this and that he needs to do in the procedure, you know? Like while he's walking by carrying like a big pile of parts, I just am like, and don't forget to bypass the power supply.
Benny stops, looks at her. Are you a doctor or are you an engineer?
I'm one of us was an engineer once.
And he kind of like squints. Right. Thanks for the advice. And he walks in.
So it's just a -2 then, I guess, on your fix. So have a -3.
I helped.
Modifier.
Like, oh shit!
1.
I did need to bypass the power supply.
Cool.
So you can
It's a 7.
Is that with a -2 on it though?
No,
I can't check.
it's not. It
Okay.
doesn't include the -2.
No. So the modifier would have been -2.
Oh, okay. I thought it was +1 because I got help.
Okay.
Oh, it's
So-
-3 normally, but because you got help, it's a -2. So
Okay, so let me retry that. Okay.
well, it's the same
Okay,
roll.
so that's fine. Once again, like you guys aren't gonna be like, oh, you broke the thing, right? Like, oh, well, you did this thing. It's just that it takes longer than you want. You're probably getting like security locked out from it, right? And you're just like, God damn it! And so it's taking longer than you thought, right? So you run out of time for the 4 days to do this. But if you have another time during drill space, you might be able to fix the guns again, right? It's just so right now for the purposes, both of those laser guns are out of commission, and both of the guns that we're fixing with the laser guns obviously are out of commission, right? They're just parts on a table right now,
All
right? As you're putting them together. Okay, that's all.
I'll just take a laser pistol then from the armory while we're out here.
Right. Yeah. Cool. And so, Derek, you give out the, like exiting the flow, entering local drill space.
Derek can only ever be an old ass turtle now.
What?
From Finding Nemo.
Right. Yeah, I know. I described the flow as entering like the actual flows of from Finding Nemo. It's a great analogy. Yeah, you got to follow the currents. And okay, so you guys drop out. Is a pretty active system. So you're not the only ones coming porting in. You guys see the light trails of other incoming ships nearby. Mostly they're just civilian class ships, right? They're not anything special. There's trade ships, that's fine. On your guys star HUD of the ship, or maybe just internally because it's the sword itself, you can see that we look for the map, we see the picture of Clark. Is it Clark 5? No, it's Pina. We see the ones, the refueling depot, Pina, and you see underneath it, it's in red or whatever, and it says maintenance mode. So it's basically offline.
Okay. So our entire purpose for this mission is to investigate.
Do you want to let Helix Leviathan know that you're going to be there?
Yes. I mean, we're within sector, right? So it's just a quick message, yeah?
I mean, it's going to take a day for the message to get there and a day to get here back, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I don't see any reason.
No, forget me. No, you can do this. No, you can do FTL in space. So you can pretty much do instant communications. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in fact, you're probably hailed as you finally enter it, right? You're probably you're absolutely hailed by the Helix Leviathan itself, wondering how it went. Obviously, they don't really care about this stupid depot, but they're extremely interested about the sword tech.
We just let them know that we have it and we'll be on our way. We just need to do this first.
Okay. That thing? Okay. Sure. So, in fact, they apologize. They apologize for you that you're the one stuck doing it.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll make do.
In fact, I think Helix Leviathan is going to ask if you guys would be willing to bypass doing that job and just go to them first.
For 8,000 credits.
For the good. No, they say for the for the benefit of the realm, we would like to take that off your hands for now.
Benny responds
that after.
For 8,000 credits.
Damn.
The benefit of the realm should make us 8,000 credits more richer because they're giving us 8,000 credits to go help them.
Is this going to be a thing where if we do this, we're not going to be able to do this? Another mission?
No, you can do it. It's just that they don't want you to waste time. They don't want to waste any more time. They want access to this encryption thing. They want it right now, and they're willing to. They want you to do it before that. And so you ask for $8,000 extra, 8,000 more rings. Okay, that sounds like that doesn't sound like trade so much as you're trying to convince them. Yeah, you're trying to negotiate with them here. So let's talk.
Sure. Do you mind if I do this?
I go up to Logan and
say,
Benedict
has already said it, right?
Okay.
You've already said it. You're doing it.
Oh, well, I'll assist.
No. So I go to Logan and say, how do I show him my rough draft of what they said and what I'm going to say. And what I'm going to say is 8,000 more credits, blocks, or bust.
I'm just let me just... I type it up and I'm just like, okay, now change some of the words so it sounds like you're saying it.
Yeah.
Right. Give me
They,
8,000 credits so we can bypass and hit it up later. No,
Right.
no. We'll bypass for 8,000 more credits.
If a multi-system protector entity could roll its eyes, it would roll its eyes at your request. But yeah, make a roll. You're like, really?
I'll do an assist first, Eric, if you don't mind.
How many people can assist on something?
I think it's just the one, right?
I mean, yeah. To give you an idea, Helix Leviathan probably handles trillions of transactions of rings a second, right? So it's like, can I have 8,000? You're like, oh my god, fine, yeah, okay, but negotiate.
Yeah.
Let's just see how pissed off it is at you for even trying to ask.
I get to reroll 1s and 2s, I think, on my check here. So I got a 1. Diplomat. Reroll 1s on any check for negotiation diplomacy. Okay, so I got a 1 there.
So you want to re-roll it?
I'll just reroll a 1d6.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is
Nice,
9. Yeah.
Well, I got an 11.
Okay, so that was just the assist though, Eric. So
Right.
I don't think
Oh,
it gives him
okay.
a plus.
Oh,
5.
never mind. Well, no, I guess the difficulty is an 11 because you got to beat it. It's
Okay.
a versus test
Yeah,
because
sure.
it doesn't want to. That says. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm just basically just
Denied.
like, don't piss it off, please.
Allocations denied,
Okay, so
and now your turn.
no modifiers.
No bonuses, yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't even put in my oh, it doesn't matter. My modifier is 0 for charisma.
Damn, because you had a -1. You were pretty close.
Yep.
Bummer. Okay.
they,
Denied.
they said they're not going to give us our
They-
8,000 credits. Let's just go do this job first.
They don't want it that fast. You're not holding. Yeah.
Should I put the artifact in my sock drawer?
No, you can just hand that over to me, and I'll go make sure that it's safely hooked up to my sarcophagus.
Well, you can put it under the mattress, actually. I think that might be
Yeah.
a safer place.
I could put it underneath my sarcophagus.
Basically, Ycthenas, wherever you put your pornography is where you should store this.
Ah,
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Okay.
that's the decoy pornography.
That's the safe pornography they want you to find. The real kinky shit is hidden somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's
I grow my
inside of her.
pornography to distract predators.
It's
You
in
think
her
I don't have
stomach.
the?
It's in another colony.
You think my colony doesn't have enough imagination to cover all types of fetishes? You're wrong. Okay.
Okay. So you guys are gonna swing by the depot,
Yep.
and okay. For all intents and purposes, the depot just has sort of like we saw one of these depots already, right at the start of the session. Long Voyager-esque looking machine, very like boxy, brutalisque. This golden color. This one is gold, but its lights that are normally white or yellow are red on. Doesn't look to be any damage. But this one is also not automated. You could see that there's a habitation module on this one.
Okay. So, Kate, to answer your question, multiple PCs can help, but the person can only receive a +1 bonus. So, narratively,
Okay.
people can help, but yeah. Like, for example, 3 people can assist, and if only one of those 3 people gets the pass, then they still get a +1. But if all 3 pass, they still only get a +1, right? So, realistically speaking, that's sort of how it breaks down.
It just statistically makes your
Assist,
chances.
yeah, have a higher chance, yeah, basically.
Yep.
And you can use any skill to assist. It doesn't have to. It's not like Mouse Guard where you have to pick a relative skill. It's any skill as long as the GM approves it. So
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dock this port.
This is gonna be a a quick in and out. You guys can just stay on this ship. I got this. Actually, you know what? If there's something shooting at me, I'd rather have you guys. So suit up and look dangerous.
So this
There
is
is a habitation pod, so there may be instances where we must communicate.
Yeah. I think as you guys approach, you're going to get hailed by the refueling depot, by Pina.
Okay.
Pina Colada, come in.
I've only actually I was going to say I've heard that joke a million times, but maybe they haven't.
Yeah.
What the heck's a pina colada?
Yeah.
Yeah, recreational drink that facilitates sex drive in multiple partners.
Does it make you get caught out in the rain?
I don't know what you're talking about. Come in, Pina Colada.
This is refueling station Pina. Who am I talking to? My sensors show
this would be your friendly neighborhood solar.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. How's it going? Hey. Hi.
Oh, just chilling. I heard you need a bit of hand. What can we do for you?
Oh, no, nothing. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Listen, we're gonna
not professional at all.
Yeah, we're gonna come on board either way. So either you make it easy for us or you don't.
Come on, man.
Don't look. It's no time to be saying it's game over or anything like that because, we have our right to come in. In fact, you have an obligation to support us. So, let's make this amicable. Come
Look,
on.
I know. I'm gonna let you dock, obviously, but can you not refuel for the next couple of days?
I tell you what, we're gonna come in.
AI.
Is
this an AI?
Yeah. From what you can tell, the habitation module is offline here.
We're just gonna come in and take a look around. Don't worry about us. We'll let you know when we're going to do some fueling, huh?
I would really appreciate it if you come dock, but look, it's a special time.
I put my hand over the microphone so it sounds like that I'm not, but I still say it so that he can hear. It's like, it's okay. They said we're good. All right, we'll see you in a bit, and then I turn it off.
I walk up. Did you ask them what kind of problem they had?
Oh, it sounds like that someone's taken over the place. Honestly.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like a job for me. Why don't you guys go and I'll stay here and watch the ship. Yeah.
Hey, Sword, you want to jump into something with a little more armor plating, maybe? A few more guns? Gatling gun, maybe?
I was just going to suggest that maybe docking in the station is not a good idea. We could use the boarding tubes.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. I can't see anything wrong with that.
Was that sarcasm?
No, I'm actually excited to throw my body into the pile. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So what out of curiosity, Eric, what are the disadvantages of us docking into, say, a hostile environment? Like what problems?
Well, the thing doesn't have any defenses. It doesn't it can't attack you.
Okay, so they can't jettison the walkway between the two ships while we're on it or something like that?
No, you seal.
No, I was more thinking.
I guess they could technically damage your ship that way by blowing the seals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's
some
possible.
sort of sabotage or something like that.
Yeah. So alternatively, what you could do, if it's a hostile force, you have boarding pods, which are basically drop pods, but they
we don't have that.
A ship, form a lock on the hull, and then sear through the hull to get you into the ship.
We don't have that. We have the boarding tubes, which is the same. It's a tube.
Oh, it's the same thing, but it's a tube from the ship. Okay. Yeah, you could do that.
I was thinking that if we dock and there's a hostile force inside, they're going to ambush us in docking area. But if we use the boarding tubes, we can access the
But we
station.
have, but no, if we dock, we can send multiple swords in there, right?
Multiple what?
You have the ability to have many robots.
Yeah. There's obviously there's like a contingency of Marines on board the Artagaris that are like made for this.
Let's do it, man. Let's dock and let's send in a swarm of robots. Come on.
Well, not robot. Well, I mean, okay, you might think
I call them
they're
robots
hosts.
because, like, honestly speaking, I'm a little mortified by the whole process of AI like burning out dudes. So calling them robots is Logan's way of just being like, okay, I should be okay with this, but I'm not. But I'm just gonna be okay with it, right?
They're bureaucrats. I can't respect them.
Yeah. So, you know. And you know what? As the Marines are forming up, I'm just like, all right, boys, we're going in there nice and spicy like. Can I get a hooah? And I love the idea that no one knows what that means.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
I don't believe I have any of those.
I know it's an ancient Earthling saying to inspire, the suicidal tendencies.
Ah, should we also engage in the ritual of Nyik?
Is that? I don't get that one. Flies over my head.
Perhaps for another time.
No, literally, can you explain it to me? Yeah, explain it to me. Out of character. Explain the joke.
I just made up some ritual nonsense.
Is it a battle orgy?
Oh, okay. Because the fact that Eric and Derek lost their shit made me feel like that was something that I missed. Anyway.
Nyik.
No. Yeah.
I just sort of blinked twice at you and I'm just like, yes.
Kika's just on another level of their jokes. That's all.
Yeah.
Once you say yes, like two of my hands just go to like either side of your face and I just stare into your eyes for like a good solid like 30 seconds.
You might think this is weird, but I have a fear boner right now and I'm not entirely sure why.
That is supposed to happen.
Ah.
You're ready.
So, are you guys using the boarding? You're not going to actually dock normally. You're gonna.
No, we'll dock normally because I feel like we have a contingency of shooter McGavins that can handle an ambush, right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Is there a way that I can shoot myself out of an airlock
Into the sun.
into the sun? No, onto this thing so I can go through another entrance and see if I can.
Well, you can, but those things are incredibly expensive to replace.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that they're like a once-use drop pod thing.
Yeah.
So we do have that technology, but like.
But telekinetic armory allows me to do something where I can go out into space.
That's pretty dope. But Derek, before we do anything any further, can you make me a notice roll for the sword as you're looking through the sensors of this place?
Okay.
It's actually made of C4.
This with wisdom, right?
This might be intelligence because you have tools and things around sensors. Things.
We actually have like more detailed sensors, right?
Yeah.
Sensors
you have
indicate
the
it's
proper
full
shit.
of space bees.
So you might actually get a bonus from those sensors.
It's a 4. No, so you're picking up that while the habitation module is offline, you're picking up like habitation like life support systems are on for oxygen creatures in sort of like around the like it's basically looks like this place's habitation module has been turned off and put to where the energy systems are, right? Like where like the fuel tritium converter, like where they actually should be refueling ships, like it's been pushed and pumped to there. but you don't see any signs of weapons. You get a lot of like heat sources too, right? Like, but then again, that could also just be the radiation from like the energy process. So like it's hard to tell.
Oh, I needed the skill pressure field. Never mind. I can't go out in the space yet.
I was about to say, man, this armory sounds like the catch-all be-all for psychic power.
No, I thought it was. I was reading pressure field because that allows me to go out into negative.
So I know we don't have a lot of time, so I wanted to like, if there's nothing left, we can smash cut to you guys doing the breach.
Yeah.
Right. As you guys land.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. You guys. Okay. Let me paint the picture, right? Because it's gonna be the perspective of it's a pretty it's a scene from you guys are all like ready in this drop pod, or not a drop pod, but like this breaching shell. You see like the boy, are you guys gonna blast open the door, or are you just gonna like force it unlocked? Like, what do you guys? What's your style here?
I think the idea is like I'm under the suspicion that it's been a hostile takeover or a mutiny or some script, right? So keeping everything like non-broken as much as we can to return it to its original state afterwards would be beneficial.
Oh, okay. Before the breach happens, Benedictus would take the time to commit effort to both doing telekinetic armory on his wrench and on himself. So he would be committing 2 of his 4 effort, and then every time the scene would change, up until the breach, he'll recommit those 2. Because telekinetic armory says the gear continues to exist as long as the psychic chooses to leave the effort committed, and it may be invisible or visible at the psychic's discretion.
Yep.
So,
are we attached like in front of a door?
Yeah, like when you would normally dock to a ship.
Is it closed?
It would be closed because it would be like an auxiliary, like an emergency hatch, because typically you don't get off ship when you go to refuel.
Oh.
So like there is a door, but like it's typically sealed. It has its own sort of airlock to it.
But what I'm asking is, are we locked out? Can't we just open it?
Oh. No, you guys can't open it. Like you also have the override codes to this place, right? Like it's a solar artifact. You guys could do this.
I was all prepared to bare hand pry it open. But
No. So okay, so you guys input the codes, right? And then like the stream of Marines come down with lights, and in front of you guys is a gigantic bloated housefly looking alien with 2 tiny vestigial wings. It's drooling, and all around it are about 2 foot tall, something like a cross between a human and a wallaby.
What?
Individuals hopping around like dumb, and they seem to be licking just the air and the metal of this place. And the giant insectoid creature in trade songs are like, whoa, put the guns away, man. I'm sorry.
I love the idea that it's just like trying to cover up its like nipples or something like that. It's like, no, don't look at me. I'm just so bruised.
No, look, I know it's bad, but like, come on. It's feeding time for them, and they need the power. I don't know what they eat these things. I don't know. Come on, I just raise them.
Who's this guy? Is this the fly talking right now, or is this something else?
Yeah, it's the fly talking.
And the fly's like saying that he doesn't. Oh, he's feeding the marsupial things, right?
Yeah, he's the human marsupial things. He's the marsupial things are just, they look very, very like dumb, and they just seem to just be like looking around the air, and they just like will lick each other, and then they like lick the metal. And he's like, look, I just make them. I sell them. They're good eating on Latelius. Look, and this is they just like coming here. I can't explain it. Look, I thought, and he's just opening up to you immediately because there's guns in his face with Marines being like, I didn't want it to come to this way. I'm sorry. I know what I'm doing is, and he's illegally grazing these things basically on this.
Benny would like come out to the front and immediately see the bloat fly.
Yeah,
and as a gut reaction. Yeah, like, he's going to get scared and he's going to swing at it.
A housefly with the tiniest legs and the tiniest wings, but it's just bloated the size of like an RV.
I love the idea that it's just like
all around it
by the foundry, and he goes around.
And I grab the back of Benny's collar and pull him back so his swing misses.
Is that fly the one we were talking to when we approached?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little cum thing like in its ear.
Man,
Or
it's
around its eyeball to its mandibles. Yeah.
Are you the only one here?
Yeah, man. You think anyone stops by this place?
I don't know. We're looking for the person in charge. Is that
Yeah, it's me.
Dennis, why is this giant floating disgusting thing talking?
They call me boss.
Yeah, you're about to be smushed. I don't like bugs, except for this one.
Hey,
Dennis.
that's offensive.
are you
I
selling
agree.
these?
Wait, what did you say, Kika?
We agree.
Oh,
Look.
geez.
These things need about 5 days. I took down the ship. I run this place, right? And he's like, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go to the console and show you. I work here.
Okay.
Right? And
So what are those things? Illegal pets?
illegal food. Legal food. Legal. Very legal.
Food for
I sell it to the Wardens of Tellius.
So
I got
wait,
a deal.
you're going to raise these furry, cute little things up to be eaten?
Now, you know
They're cute, but they're dumb. Yeah.
I look over at Benny
Yeah,
and
they're cute.
I sort of give him like an upward, PC glance, and it's just like follow my lead a little bit here.
Yeah. This isn't the first time you guys have seen something like. I mean, this is probably the first time you've seen this exact situation. I hope it's the first time you've seen this exact situation.
Yeah.
But the idea of people like. There's a lot of derelict shit in space around, and this person was like making some extra money by deciding to take up a hobby of mixing this thing around and making a little grow place.
Yep.
For these food bunnies, and he's selling it.
All right. Yeah, I do that significant PC glance over to the party, and I say, "It's like, all right, Benny, cuff him. We're taking him in."
Cuff him. I'm going to smush him. Prepare to be smooshed. And he
Come
goes
on, I'm
over-
on probation. You don't want to do this to me.
Oh yeah,
You are absolutely wrong, sir. I do want to smush you. You're scary. You're scaring me.
So who's your probation officer then?
You see another one of you?
I'm literally just talking out of my ass right now, Eric.
Yeah.
It's like, so who's your probation officer? Huh? Is it Gregory?
No. It's Mountain View.
I
The heck?
I take out like a piece of my pad. I'm just like, yep. And why is it that you're on probation and you're breaking more laws?
Look, the first time it was bullshit. I also had a contract. It's
I
not
don't,
fair.
I don't make the
Look,
rules. I just
Inspector's out
enforce
to
them.
get me, man. I'm just trying to make a living. You know how much they pay me to see here? You know how much company I get? You're the first group I've actually seen in over a year.
Maybe
back
if you
on-
looked at...
Put this thing back up and running, and get rid of.
It runs fine 51 out of 52 weeks of the year. I take it down for maintenance, let these things grow, get some food, and then send them out. Come on,
I tell you what, there is a hit
Don't do
out
this.
on whatever it is that you're doing here, so you've pissed off the wrong people.
what?
Yeah, we're here to smush you.
Oh, no, I'm good with that. No, there's no and he probably like checks the net and sees it. It's like crap. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I feel stupid. All right.
I look
It
over
has a perverse sense of fairness. And it's like, well, look, if you're gonna take me in, can I just eat these things first and then go?
Whoa.
It's a nice meal as a free man.
Whoa, what? No, you're not going to take those cute little things and put it in
I'm
your
fine with
grotesque
it.
mouth.
It already
I
like
don't-
slurps one up, right? It just goes.
I'm going to
just watch
smush it.
go.
Then he goes over and he
I hold
hits
Benny
him.
back.
Yeah.
Benny is going to be throwing his entire
on.
weight at him.
You don't know how to raise these things.
I'm going to raise something, and it's not going to be. Yeah, no, it's going to be this wrench.
Come on,
Smushing
you want to doom this profitable group?
Benedictus,
What?
remember the tribbles.
So what are you saying? If I smush this thing, he's going to turn into a billion more of him? Is he?
No.
Is he like
these
a
things
little
are
off-brand of
cute,
you?
But they could spread in ways unforeseen.
So I sort of like scratched
these
my.
things, by the way, these things are called just for purpose. I don't want to call them just things or whatever. They're gonna be called let's give them an adorable name because they'd be even better.
So yeah,
Troglodytes.
Yeah.
wallabies,
Graces. Yeah. Something like
bilbies.
something like Grace or something like
Troglobies.
nice, like a nice plant.
Wallalyptus.
Wallalyptus. Yeah, let's call them. They're
God damn
They're
it.
like wallabies with
Wallalypti.
eucalyptus.
I hate you
Yeah,
so
they're-
much.
So
So I'm gonna look at the man. I'm just like, God, there's so much paperwork to fill out. I mean, we're gonna have to deport you back to where you're from. Like, we're gonna have to remove you and find another employee to take over the
they're
center
paying
and
you-
stuff like that.
they're paying you 1,000 credits to take me in.
No, they're
I will
paying.
pay you, I will give you the 1,000 for your time
You're going to be giving us
out of the
32,000.
profits of the Wallalyptuses.
They're paying us. They're paying us 16,000 to bring you in. So you're going to pay us 32,000 for us to look the other way.
Look, weird one. I saw the contract.
Whoa!
I work for the Solar. I get the same letters of the head letters that you do.
This one is actually 8,000, Eric, on the mission list.
Oh.
Did,
Oh, yeah, it's
did-
8,000. Sorry.
did
Yeah.
this-
Never mind. They'll pay you 8,000. Yeah.
Did this grotesque, engorged, flying smush target call me strange?
He did, and you've been insulting him the entire time.
You insulted
Anyway,
me.
I tell you what. For 8,000 credits, we will look the other way. However, you are going to have to cease your illegal activity and put the station back up and running at the same time.
8,000. I'm trying to get us.
You won't even know that Wallalyptus were here in a week. Promise.
No,
And it can't do anything. It just it stares at you dumbly with some drool, but like its arms can't do anything, or like it does no good signification of it being like,
yeah, I just
absolutely, like, yes sir, but it is. It's doing its best. Okay.
and then I sort of look back at the Marines. I'm just like, oh, I guess round up these illegal aliens and let's put them in chains. I guess this station needs to be back up. Fueling needs to happen. And if you can't guarantee that it's going to be up right now before we leave, then we can't do any business with you. And I'm going to have to sit behind a mountain of paperwork. And you don't want me to do that. I hate paperwork.
It's true.
Where am I going to put them? They
pees on
can't
it.
go anywhere. They have to be where the tritium is.
I sort of look at I look behind me at the door. And I'm just like, you put them into space.
If we space them, then they're not good eating.
I
They have
look
to eat
at
them fresh.
I look at Logan. How about I put you back in this space, you overgrown monkey?
Look, I want to do business. I don't want this to be a problem, but I can't pay you $8,000 if my merchandise is spaced.
You know what?
I need a week. Just say that there's a problem and you need to order a part or something, whatever it is you do. Come on.
16,000, and I'll write up the proper report.
16. What, do you want me to starve, man?
You just say one of those things.
I look at him. You're not hurting to lose a few pounds there, buddy.
I resent that. I'm small for
pretty
my
sure you
size.
do. Oh well, dang.
All right.
Okay. What's the play?
I'm okay with him giving us money. Honestly,
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay
Just
with
give-
it.
Just give us a cut.
He's gonna cut. Yeah. So he can't give you 16,000.
You can give us
I
8.
don't know how much these things are worth, but there's no way he can agree with 16,000 because that is way too more than what he would have. Right?
Honestly, like the difference here is like a week, right? And us fulfilling this thing would be getting it back up and running, right? So if we want to double dip on this, we need to have it up and running and take what we can from this guy. So,
Or lie. Yeah.
or lie.
He gave you an out saying that like it will be up and running in a week. He guarantees he can have it up and running and there'll be no sign of these things within a week. That they know a ship coming that's going to take them and it'll be fine.
All right.
from
So
Letelius. It's inbound from Letelius right now.
all right. In order to help this lie facilitate it, I need him to come up with a manifest for parts that he needs.
Done.
Eric,
You have a
How
pen?
do
Or no, it types the stuff in.
how do I steal one of these Walloptises?
Just put it in your hands. Put it
You
in the
want to
bag.
put it in video too?
No, I feel
Do
like
you have a
Benny-
bag?
Yeah,
I mean,
you
they look kind of like Energizer bunnies, so it's like,
Yeah, wallabies are about this big. There,
Yeah.
Alex, just so you know, they're
But
not
this one-
very big. So they're
but
kinda,
rather than have like the bunny-like faces, they have ape-like faces. It's disturbing.
it's like yeah,
um,
it's basically they're about knee high. That's how big wallabies are.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they're
Yeah,
not very big.
and-
They're about as big as your character, I guess.
Yeah, and apparently this fly and whatever's on Letelius, they love these things. They just eat them raw. They just gobble them up.
Okay.
So I'm going to attempt to sneak one off.
Sure. They're-
I have,
like literally, these things are like, as far as species go, they're dumb. All
They're
right,
like
they're not
sheep.
intelligent. They're not an intelligent alien species. These are grazing animals. These are not smart
Okay.
things. Right? They are dumber than cows. They're dumber than sheep. They are very, very not smart. I cannot emphasize that enough. You could just literally pick one up. Like for all intents and purposes, like these things might have been genetically modified to be docile, good eating. Like because they should. If there was a predator, they just don't even run
They
away.
have 4
Right?
breasts.
They're dodo birds. Right? In other words, they are dumb.
he picks then I'm going to pick one up and try to slip it into my bag, my tool bag.
Right. I mean, there's no consequence to failure here. It's not like the guy can call you out and stop you or anything like that. It's just one. It's not a big deal.
I would not want him taking that on the ship though, because it might decide to feed on the ship's power supply.
It's true.
So-
They do like to eat power. They lick it.
Don't worry. I don't worry, guys. I will feed it and I will love it and I will call him George and he
Are
will
you
be my
going to
fit.
feed it with your sarcophagus?
I'm going to feed it something. I'm pretty sure I can make a sustainable energy source for him to imbibe.
Don't worry, in a week it'll be dead. We can airlock it.
If you do not take care of it properly, I will eat it.
So it gives you a manifest. Yeah. Right. So yeah, they give you a manifest to lie about. It's a good one, right? And as long as you guys are cool with getting wired in exactly 10 days, and then you guys can haggle over the money right now real quick, but like he'd be willing to give you $10,000 if you let it happen.
I would like to haggle to get more.
Okay. Let's say this is a difficulty 8. You could get an extra 2,000 off of him.
Okay. I'm alright with that.
And literally that's as much as he can make. And he literally will be making no money. Okay.
That's the cost of being a bad guy, Eric.
Oh, it's
Harris.
robbery. Okay. Well, I better let them know this will be the last shipment as this game's up. And okay. Cool.
So we
This
got
is-
we got
and he goes in.
12,000
This system's-
credits plus 8,000.
As you guys, I guess the Marines leave, as you guys leave, he's like, man, this system's going to hell. You know, as the door closes and shuts off and things go down. And yeah, this thing remains on maintenance. You get the report. So you guys, you get your extra 8,000 credits.
All right, so 20,000
For-
total then. Yeah.
So you get this, you get the 8,000 credits now reporting back to Argus,
Okay.
back to Leviathan about this mission. You give them the manifest. You're like, oh, sure. Okay, cool. Just hang around, send the parts out there. And just be responsible for and doing the repairs, and you'll be good to go, right?
And we get
So
a
do you guys want to wait?
Walloptis.
So do you just want to wait around in system for 10 days?
Sure.
We have to turn in the artifact.
Yeah, we'll turn in the artifact.
Yeah,
in the
you're doing
meantime.
that now. You're turning in the artifact, right? You're turning in the artifact, and you're also finishing this job. So you kind of accomplished 2 jobs today.
Okay, cool. So so I put in the 8,000, so we get another 12,000. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So that puts us at
How much did I say? How much did I say that the artifact was worth? I think it was like 250,000 or something.
250,000. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it was something like that. It was an exorbitant amount of money.
Okay, so that would put us at 305,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if you wait in system for 10 days, Boss Man will give you your due cut.
Mm-hmm.
You also get your 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think based on the rest of the previous 2 sessions, I think that's about a month, and we would be getting into the next month of play.
Okay, sure.
So I will be doing a faction thing on my own, moving missions along. These in 10 days, if we're just hanging out, some of these missions will change. Obviously, mission 2 is gone because you did it, but the other missions will also change as
The high priority will probably go away as well.
Yep, someone else is probably doing that job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and things will keep moving on. All right,
Okay.
and slowly, machinations will reveal themselves.
I like it.
Enjoy being police mercenaries and looking and digging blind eyes to things.
Bad cops. Cool. We'll do the explanation next episode, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, because Derek's got to get out of here.
Yeah, so would you say this is enough to get 1 XP, Mr. Eric Vogaris?
Totally, absolutely. You guys, you beat a mission today. Sure, you should definitely get at least one experience.
Okay, and I have a goal for
all of us
get 1 to gain more money. So would you say that is 2 experience or?
Yep, 2 experience.
Cool.
You're gonna level up, right?
Yeah, I mean everyone should level up, right? So,
yeah, but everybody should be leveling up. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we lost Zippy. That's weird. Rip zip. Okay. So okay, yeah. So everyone should have enough to level up then, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. We don't have to do that right now. We can always do that later.
Yeah. So basically, the rule of thumb here for leveling up is everyone gets 3 skill points. Kika, you're an expert.
Yep.
So we get 4, or is it?
I don't mind leveling up.
Experts and adventurers with partial expert gain an extra skill point both. Okay, so yeah, we get 4.
Cool.
For what?
Points. You get
For
4
skill.
XP points, which you can use on starting on page 57. So everyone will get everyone gets to roll additional hit points. So in this case, whatever your hit die is, basically you have to beat your current hit point score. So if you're a 2d6, you need to roll. If you're at a d6 for your expert, then it's d6. It's 2d6 plus your con score, and if it's higher than your current hit points, then you get that again. We can do this next session though, no problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of stuff, but yeah. Anyway, Eric. Sorry, not Eric. Derek. Where can people find you?
Hey, people can find me on Twitter at Elven Tower. There's also my website, elventower.com. I do maps for Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy games, and write some adventures from time to time.
Okay, cool. Zippy, you can find Zippy at Zippy_Zippo on Twitch and gaming.exp on Twitter, I guess. I guess Kika, where can people find you?
People can find me here at twitch.tv/Kika. That's twitch.tv/KIKK, and on twitter.com/KikaVO.
Nice. And Eric, where can people find you? Thanks.
Eric Vulgaris everywhere.
Nice. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to bring the stream down, then bring it back up because I'm going to start playing some State of Decay 2 in a hot moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We'll see you next week for more. You going to be around next week, Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Excellent. And I assume Kika and Eric, no problems. Excellent, excellent. All right, so we'll be back in maybe half an hour or so. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you when we see you. Bye bye.